Welcome to IELTShelp.com's General IELTS Test Preparation videos. You will now see Lartika from New Delhi, India get a very good Band 8 for her performance on the speaking interview. After the interview, I will explain what she could do just a little bit better to get that perfect Band 9 score. For lots more help with your next IELTS exam, including original practice exams, a fully interactive course, and over 100 hours of video lessons, visit and join our premium package at gieltshelp.com. Now watch and learn. Welcome to the speaking portion of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test. The test has 3 parts, and I'm recording this for marking purposes. The candidate number is 73591. The time is 13 o'clock, and we're conducting the exam in New Delhi. Can you please show me your identification?
My pleasure. Here is my passport, which I used for my registration. Please have a look.
Thank you. And what is your full name?
My first name is Lartika, and my family name is Khatri, as you can see in my passport. Please call me by my given name, Lartika.
Okay, Lartika. For part 1, I will ask you some questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. Do you work or study?
I'm both working as well as studying. So whenever I get time, I volunteer a few hours in a week at an animal shelter. And I'm also doing my biochemistry, and probably I will be graduating in this coming June.
What is your favorite activity?
I am really into dance. So whenever I get chance, I participate in the dance competitions as well as go to the dance clubs with my friends. I usually dance the traditional dances since ever I'm a child.
Let's talk about celebrations. Do you like to celebrate birthdays or other events?
Yes, obviously I would like to celebrate the birthdays as well as other personal celebrations. So if I'm celebrating the birthdays, I will be with my friends as well as their family. But whereas if it is a personal celebrations like anniversaries or marriage, it will be definitely with their relatives and neighbors.
What is your favorite celebration and why?
That's a tough question, but if I have to choose one, I would definitely go with Diwali, which is definitely the festival over light over darkness. It is the biggest celebrations in India, which last for about 5 days. And also I get to wear my beautiful clothes on that day. I also get to eat like delicious meals and meet my favorite friends and families over there.
Have the way people celebrate these days changed compared to a generation ago?
I think there have been a few changes comparatively with the past as well as nowadays. One of the things which come to my mind is that the use of cameras. Nowadays, since people have the phones with them, they usually take pictures and make videos using the phones. And I don't think in the past they have the phones. Also, nowadays, I think the music as well as the dance remain the same when compared to past.
If you could make a new celebration, what would that be?
If I had a chance to make one, then I wish I could celebrate a day for the dogs, obviously, because they are the ones who give the love and caring to the humans. So it's someday it should be needed for the dogs to celebrate with them.
That is the end of part 1. We will now continue with part 2. For part 2, I will show you a card with some questions on it. Please do not touch the card. You will have 1 minute to read the questions, think about your answers, and then you will have 2 minutes to speak. You have your pen there in front of you, and there's some note paper. You can use that note paper to take some notes during the 1 minute. I will tell you when to start, when to stop. Talk about an object with many uses. Your 1 minute, don't touch the card please, your 1 minute preparation time begins now. Okay, Lartika, your 1-minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
For this quicker question, I would definitely go with a white A4 printer paper. This is usually 20 centimeters in length and 30 centimeters in width. This paper can be usually seen in a person's home as well as in supply stores. And the very common use of A4 paper nowadays is people usually use this for printing the documents from a printer as well as for writing informations which helps them for exams as well as for writing in essays. Apart from all these different kinds of purposes, A4 paper can be also used for entertainment purpose. For example, it can be used for drawing pictures, for folding airplanes and all. I can tell that my cousin usually she makes a lot of A4 paper hats which we place in our backyard. So I dare to say that it has a multitude of purposes nowadays.
That is the end of part 2. Now we will continue with part 3. Can you please just turn over your note paper and put it to the side? Thank you. Now I will ask you a question related to your response, and I will ask you some questions connected to the topic of part 2. In what unique ways do you use A4 paper in your daily life?
Nowadays, A4 paper can be used as a light diffuser. What I meant is that while taking pictures or videos, if we are putting the A4 paper in front of the light, it provides us with more balanced form of light. So that means it helps to get the pictures and videos with much more clarity wise.
Okay, let's talk about creativity. What kinds of professions require people to be creative?
There are a couple of jobs which come to my mind when speaking about the creativity. I think that architects and engineers need much more creative. This is because they have to be more critical and they have to consider the challenges. They should be more aware of considering the physics as well as aware about the things which have to become account.
Can you give examples?
Yes, as in New Delhi, since the space is very limited, but the architectural designs is like very much stunning. For example, the Nova East and East buildings over there.
Where are common places for people to see the creativity of others?
There are many places where people can enjoy the professions. So some of the places which come to my mind is like the art galleries and restaurants. In art galleries we can see many varieties of pictures which depicts the beautiful and the stunning visualizing arts, and also in restaurants we can see some chefs who make extraordinary and delicious meals over there.
How can people improve their imagination?
There are a couple of ways which the people can improve their imagination. Some of the things which come to my mind is through taking classes from other people regarding writing as well as drawing pictures, and also reading books can help them a lot. This can increase their imaginations, their ideas and all.
Let's talk about problem solving. What are common problems around the world that are challenging people to come up with solutions?
Some of the problems which we can see nowadays is the global warming as well as environmental pollution, which creates a great harm to the land as well as oceans.
What kind of solutions have been suggested to these?
Some of the solutions which come to my mind is that by reducing the carbon emissions, by converting into solar energy, and also by implementing more solar plants which can reduce environmental pollution too.
Which skills are necessary for effective problem solving?
As far as I'm concerned, I think that first of all we have to analyze the situation and then brainstorm the solutions and then implement these solutions so that we get better results.
Do these skills always help?
Yes, it helps a lot. This is because when individuals as well as group work together, mostly the solutions can be applied in solving many of the problems.
If you could solve one problem in the world today, what would it be?
Obviously, that will be the environmental pollution, which is causing harm to the land as well as ocean nowadays. So it's like hitting two birds with one stone. So I can also reduce the pollution as well as the carbon emissions too.
Okay, that is the end of part 3. That concludes the speaking portion of the exam. You will have your mark in about 2 weeks' time with the other sections for your official certificate, and you'll see it online in about 3 days, okay? Have a great rest of your day. Remember to take your passport with you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Now that you've finished watching the interview with Lartika, let's discuss her score in more detail. Overall, Lartika would score a band 8, which is a very good score according to the IELTS band score descriptors. She has to be proud of achieving such a high score, and this is certainly enough for university and immigration. So why does she lose that one band? Well, let's take a look at the detailed marking criteria. As I had mentioned before, her fluency score is a band 9. As soon as I ask her a question, she's able to come up with clear, fluent answers right away, speaking quickly and continuously, giving answers, explanations, and examples using a variety of vocabulary. She does not pause to think about grammar or words. So clearly she's able to hold a conversation on general and in specific topics. Her coherence score is a little bit lower. Her coherence is a band 8. Some of her answers are slightly awkward and don't make 100% sense. In the real world, I would stop and follow up on some of the points that she says to get a bit further clarity. However, she does not say any answers which are very confusing or which have no connection to the question being asked. So in this case, her coherence is a band 8. A couple instances where Lartika's coherence is a bit confusing is when she uses the expression over there to finish her sentence. It doesn't make clear sense what she is actually referring to. Although this may be a part of her diction, it still needs to make sense for the listener. As well, she has that one idiom to hit two birds with one stone when she's speaking about pollution and carbon emissions. The idiom is somewhat forced in this answer, and it doesn't quite make sense in this context. Be very careful not to force idioms into your speaking responses. Only use them when they come naturally and when they make absolute sense. I want to emphasize that Lartika's strongest criteria for her high score is her fluency. Her fluency is a clear band 9, and you will see this in part 2 and part 3. In order to become fluent in English like Lartika, it's very important to practice as much as possible. Going into more detail, Lartika's lexical resource is a band 8. She uses a broad range of vocabulary. She uses expressions, correlative, subordinating, and coordinating conjunctions well. She also often provides synonyms for words which she uses again and again. And overall, she does show strong command of English vocabulary. I would estimate that her vocabulary base is anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 words minimum. However, there are a few instances where she is redundant. Specifically in part 2, when she is talking about the A4 piece of printer paper, she repeats the word purpose quite frequently. Ideally, for a band 9, instead of repeating the word purpose, she would use words like for the goal or for the aim, for this reason, using different kinds of synonyms and expressions to express the idea of a purpose. In addition, she could have used some more advanced vocabulary in certain questions to give more specific concepts and make clear ideas. This is especially true for part 3. Her grammatical range and accuracy is somewhat similar to her lexical resource mark. She does show a broad range of grammar, including present perfect, progressive form, passive form, but there are some cases where she could use some more complex grammar to add an extra layer of clarity and accuracy to her language. Again, this takes a lot of practice, but a band 8 for grammatical range and accuracy is very good indeed. Her pronunciation score is again about a band 8. All of the words that she uses are clear and comprehensible. However, in some cases, her pronunciation is slightly awkward, but it does not lead to confusion. If pronunciation leads to confusion, it will decrease the score further because it will also affect the coherence score. In Lartika's case, her pronunciation does not affect her coherence. Keep practicing your IELTS speaking, and I'm sure you can do just as well as Lartika has. Good luck the next time you sit your IELTS exam. For many more video lessons like this one, including original practice exams, a fully interactive course, and over 100 hours of video lessons, visit and join our premium package at gieltshelp.com. Begin learning for success today. I took the official IELTS exam in Budapest, Hungary, and you can now watch my Band 9 IELTS journey exclusively on our websites at aehelp.com and gieltshelp.com when you sign up for our premium package. In this series, you will see me register for the exam, get prepared, take the test, and receive my marks with some feedback. I give you strategies throughout the series to maximize your scores. Begin learning with us today. Subscribe to our channel. Click over here. Watch another video? Click right up here. And join our premium package. Click on our hero to practice your speaking, get videos, exams, and an interactive course.